My mustache is growing over my face.
You guys ever buy something and think that it's gonna make your life better or easier, but then you realize it just slows you down and you don't use it that much, and then it just ends up being something that you're forced to use because you bought it? Yeah, me and Mahim kind of had that problem in the beginning where we would just buy some new stuff or some new little toys and thinking that we would use it at a wedding event, but it just ended up sitting on the shelf for a just in case moment. Now that we've been doing it for like 3 years, we kind of know exactly what we need to take into a wedding event. We're like super minimalistic now, and just to be efficient and fast, right? Because it's just a 2-man team. I do video, he does the photos, right? We don't have enough time to fiddle around with things. We need to be on point every single time. So while I'm getting ready for an upcoming event, I decided that I'd give you guys a TTL version of what's in my camera bag, wedding videographer edition. Starting off with the most sentimental thing in my bag is my Sony a7 III. My first full frame camera. Without this camera, I don't think I'd be doing what I'm doing right now or even have everything that I have right now, literally because of this camera. I remember when this camera came out, I used to dream and talk about it all the time. I use this camera for literally everything. Still an excellent camera, but now mostly I use it for photos. And for weddings, this just stays on a stationary tripod, getting a wide shot of the event. In the beginning, I remember I used to shoot the whole event with just this one camera. Now, the most expensive thing in my camera bag is my Sony a7S III. Now, for all the gearheads like me, you know that this is the most overkill camera to buy for a wedding shoot. I love this thing. It literally does everything plus more. Because of this camera, I shoot everything in 4K now. For weddings, this shoots all my B-roll, detail, entrances, exits, and a whole bunch of other things I need for the event. It's a really amazing camera, and probably the only reason why I bought it is because of the crazy low light capabilities this thing has. So for my lenses on my Sony a7S III, I usually use the Sigma 24mm 1.4 lens for all my wide shots. This lens is amazing. I love the wide angle range I get and the crazy depth of field coming from this lens. This lens is light enough, it's good in low light. I can put it on my gimbal, and it has a great build. On this lens, I added a Tiffin Black Pro Mist filter to give it that extra dreamy look and really smooth out the highlights. So when my 50mm got stolen, I decided to replace it with the Sigma 85mm 1.4 lens. It's a super tight lens. I usually use it for details and close-ups during the event. You get crazy depth of field, a longer range with this lens. I also paired it with the Tiffin Black Pro Mist filter so you can get that buttery smooth image. But yeah, this is like the perfect portrait lens for me. The last lens in my arsenal is my Sony G Master 16-35mm 1.8 zoom lens. I use this lens for vlogging. It's like my all-around do-it-all lens, and this is usually paired with my Sony a7 III for the stationary shot, getting a wide angle of the stage, so when people are doing group photos and other activities on the stage, I can get the whole thing. But in the beginning, I was using this to shoot the whole wedding. This is a very versatile lens. The only other ND filter I use is the Peter McKinnon Polar Pro ND filter. 2 to 5 stop polarized ND. I use this mostly for outside or sunny days where I just need to cut out the light. It's like sunglasses for your lenses. I remember Mahin got this for my birthday. I'm not a big fan of gimbals, but my big gimbal of choice is the Zhiyun Weeble S. It's a small lightweight gimbal that I can put in my bag. It holds my Sony a7S III with the 24mm lens. It was cheaper than any other gimbal at the time. It does a really good job. This is such a good gimbal that when it was stolen the first time, I bought another one. It gets the job done. It stabilizes everything for like entrances, gate holdings and exits and stuff like that. And I enjoy using it. For my pocket light, I have the Aperture MC. This light is small and it's magnetic, and I can mount it to my camera. So whenever I'm in a darker area and I need light, I can use it to light any subject. I also have a newer LED light panel. It's cheap. It's battery powered, so I don't need to connect a power cable to it. I can move it around for like areas where they're doing cake cuttings and other parts of the event away from the stage. That I mentioned is super cheap. You can get it off Amazon. The stage, I use a Aperture Amran 100D LED light. So this is usually paired with a light dome just to light up the stage where the bride and groom are sitting for group photos and other parts of the event. It's small enough where I can carry it myself. It's powerful enough where I can light the whole stage and other parts. This can be the only light that I take that day for any event. The drone that I take is a DJI Mavic Air 2. This drone is slept on. It's really good. It shoots in 4K. It's easy to use. It's small. It fits in my bag. I really don't need any other drone for these wedding events, but really, what else do you need that this can't do? For audio, I use the Rode Video Micro. This is a small shotgun mic. It sits on top of my a7 III. During the events, capturing speeches and other parts of the event. It's teeny. It has really good quality. For speeches and interviews, I use the Rode Wireless Go 2. It comes with 1 receiver and 2 mics. It's small, easy to use. I can mic up anybody. And then while they're making speeches, I get clean audio for the wedding film. So everything lives in this bag. My Wander Pook. I don't know how to say it, but my Wander 31 liter bag, black on black, which I love. It's very well made. It has a roll top so I can put all my extra cables and stuff in it. It holds everything I need. I can put a gimbal in here. I can also put a tripod on the side. It has all my cameras and other things. This is the perfect bag. I love it.
Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of like everything that I kind of take. Some little stuff here and there that I didn't feel like mentioning, doesn't really matter. But that was my videographer's version. If you want to see a photographer's version, because Mahin has a whole different setup of his, if you want to see that, let me know. Probably make that the next video. Also, I wanted you guys to know that that's not everything that I have, right? So that's like just for the wedding videography side. If it's a client or a company, then I have a whole different setup for that. So the thing that I want to say is that my wife bought me my first camera from Best Buy, a cheap camera with her credit card. And with that and people's support and belief in me and that I can create something for them allowed me to get clients, which in turn allowed me to have all this gear. Even if I didn't have any of this, I'd probably still be making video regardless. I'm really appreciative to my clients that booked me, and because of you guys, I'm able to have everything that I have. Never thought I would have any of this stuff when I started, but it's all to you guys. Another thing is I know that all this gear can't really replace me. You know, the hours of practice and learning and experience and just like the countless hours that I took just to learn how to use this stuff. I'm still learning. I don't think that I'm like A1 top 1 right now. I still got a long way to go. I'm still a rookie in this game, but you know, I'll get there. And if gear is the only thing that you needed, then any company or anybody can buy the most expensive one and just, you know, but people hire you because of your experience, because of the way you make things, you know, your passion and your creativity. Your passion and your creativity doesn't have a price compared to the gear that you buy. Anyway, I'm very grateful. Thank you again. Thank you very much. Because you guys have invested in me, I'm going to continue this. This is starting to get cheesy, so yeah, thank you. If you like this video, please subscribe. Give me a like. I think YouTube likes that. And if you want to see a photographer's version, comment below. And yeah, I'll see ya. We outside.